Hey guys, and welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. My name's Hayley for anyone that's new, and I've got today a rather longer video, a day in the life. So, it was Steve's birthday. It was. So, we bypassed for everybody that's aware of the smoked bacon what's it called? The smoked bacon. I can't think of the word now. It's too early in the morning. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Saga, that's it. Well, I did him some cheese and bacon scones instead. So all the recipes that are on here today, I will link for you. So he had some cheese and bacon scones. He loves cheese and bacon scones. Straight from the oven. Just put the butter in with the flour and the baking powder and the salt. So you just want it until it's like little pieces in there, like you would rub for a crumble, I guess. And once it gets to that stage, add in your bacon. Obviously I added more than I'm supposed to, because that's just the way we roll. So the Dijon mustard actually goes in with the milk. Some cheese. Give that a mix up. So in with the milk is the teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and I think it was an egg. Anyway, the recipe will be below. You're not going to use all this. Oh, I say that, but all bags of flour are different. They absorb different amounts of liquid. Add enough liquid, this milk, until it comes together. Look at that look. I don't want to mix it. It pops up. I was nowhere near using all of mine. And then at other times I've used nearly all of it. So there's never two bags of flour the same. Look, I've still got some left. Just discard that. Or if you wanted to... Oh, sorry, no egg went into that liquid. It's a good job the recipe's going to be below in it. Yeah, I use the egg yolk to glaze the top of them. I just shape it on the worktop. Just make sure that it all comes together. And it does, so that's fine. No more liquid is required. All I did was shape it and roughly cut it. We're not so fussy in this house, especially when they're like going to get demolished anyway, so. I don't tend to be as picky with appearances if it's just like us eating. I make an effort when other people come, obviously, but... As I say, this recipe has been done before. I just made them this day for Steve. He's like 6 months younger than me, and he's constantly saying, well, you're going to get to 50 first. You'll always be older. Like, thank you, you know. Cheers for that. So today would usually be a haul, but we did one the last 2 weeks, so we don't need anything. So obviously I'm not gonna order just for the sake of ordering. So I thought, what could I do? And I just thought I could have a yabba while I'm showing you what I'm doing this day in the kitchen. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So there's the scones. Like I said, no set shape, just cut them into 6. Bake them for about 11 minutes, depending on your oven. They're all different. This is what I mean about recipes. You've got to, you know your oven better than I do. So if it runs on the hot side, maybe a minute less. If it's not that great, or it's on its last legs, maybe a bit longer in the oven. So I did them with scones, a bit more cheese on top, Add cheese where you can. It's the only way I can eat cheese is if it's melted. I could never ever just take that piece that's on the tray there and put it in my mouth. Oh, I'd be gipping and all sorts. There we go, and just pop them in the oven. And they were gone about 5 minutes after I showed you. But they're better hot. Alright guys, I just thought I'd pop this in the day in the life since it's just come. I did a small order with Discount Dragon, mainly for them and the crisps. So I got 5 boxes of these egg pasta lasagna sheets, and these were 50p a box, so I thought that was really good. So I got 5 of them. Then I got 2 bags of these. So these are the Go Ahead fruit and oat bars with apple flavour filling. See, Amy likes these ones, the ones with the cinnamon in, she doesn't like. So there's 8 bars in here, and these were £1 for each bag. These are what it says, cheddars. They're so good out of Steve. Once these are open, that's it, they go. So these were £1 each as well. Fanta, I got an 8-pack of orange and an 8-pack of fruit twist, and these were $1.99 per tray. Some dime nuggets, which I use in my ice cream. These were 50p a bag, 150g bags. This was a good offer. So this is a box of Jordan's granola, fruit and nut, and it was an entire box for £5 because this is quite expensive on its own, and there's 4 bags of these for £5, so that was really good. We like granola, don't we? So we've got as we know, all crisps are very expensive now. Rip the box open. So in this box there is 8 150g bags, the big bags. These are the crinkle cut cheese and pickled onion Tyrrells. So there's 8 of these big bags, and that was a £5 for these big bags. There's, how much are them Tyrrells in the shop, Steve, each?
Over £2 now, wouldn't they?
I think they're over £2, aren't they? So I've got that one. And then Steve's seen these ones. These are the Piper's brand. And these are Longhorn beef, which appeals to Steve. These are not crinkle cut, they're the regular ones, and that's the size of them ones, and they were the same price, £5 as well for the entire box, and there's 8 150g bags. So that's what I got from Discount Dragon this time. Always try to get an order in when they've got crisps in the boxes like these, because they are so much cheaper to get this way. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that little haul. I can link the site that I used underneath in the description. Get back to the rest of the video. Hope you like that little haul there. Thought I may as well drop it in. So I'm making a basic white loaf. This is my go-to white loaf. Steve is obsessed with uncut bread for toast. He loves it. And this is simply 500g of strong white bread flour, 7g of yeast, 10g of salt, and then tepid water. That's it. And I let the dough cycle in my machine do everything. And this is our go-to white recipe. I'll stick it underneath if anyone's interested. You by all means knead by hand and let it proof, no problem. Or use a dough hook in a stand mixer if you haven't got a bread machine. So I'm weighing out how many mils it is. So it's 350 mils of tepid water. And then that's it. I just stick it in the bread machine and let it do its thing. It's as simple as that. And there it is. It's done its thing. I'm going to stick it in a £2 bread tin. I bought some new ones with the straight edges. I prefer them loaf tins. You know, some days this just comes out in nice one piece, and then today it didn't. But I never mess about with them. I pour them straight into the tin. I don't shape it, nothing. So I'll get a bit, I was going to say salt then, don't get salt. Got a bit of flour, just use it on my hands just to bring out the rest that's in there. As easy as that. Just going to flatten out the top. I'm not going to mess about with it any more than that. And just cover it, let it rise a bit, and in the oven, 35 minutes. We don't mess about with bread, look, and there you go. Beautiful loaf, crispy and hollow. And of course, while it's hot, I bet a lot of you are the same, Steve's straight at it and takes the edge off it. This is what we have for tea. So this is the crab stuffed mushrooms that I put up the picture of last night. And I've got 2 large portobello mushrooms. So I used about 100 grams of cream cheese, about a half teaspoon of granulated garlic, you can use fresh, bit of dried parsley, again you can use fresh. That's a tin of crab meat. I use the shredded one, but doing them again I would use the lump. You can buy it in the tin in the lump as well. I would definitely use the lump for the better texture. And I think the shredded one's just under £3 for a tin, so it's not bad really. So I've pulled the stem off the mushroom, and I'm just going to add that into the filling. Oh, I also added, I don't know where that's gone, but in there is about 4 tablespoons of mayo as well. So I'm just adding the stems in. And I found another stem. So I'm just chopping that up as well. Chuck that in. We don't waste. I'm just trying to cut that rough edge. All I did was take one of my spring onions and cut the green part off, and I'm just going to chop that up and put that in. I did wash it, that's why the board's wet, before anyone says anything. Crab is quite delicate, so you don't want anything too strong in there. So I just use the green part. That was my dog sneezing. So you just mix that up. Season to your own taste. Give it a good mix. Again, I will put this below if anyone's interested in doing it. Some cheese in there. And I've just noticed my dog, I swear my dog can hear a grater from like 100 metres away. She's behind me waiting for a bit of cheese. Little madam. So that was enough filling to do them large portobello mushrooms. No waste, just the right amount. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of panko on top. I was trying not to, like, you know when it just runs out of the packet. I was trying to make sure it just sprinkled. I'm not usually this delicate in the kitchen. So yeah, I just put a coating on the top to give it a nice crisp. And I'll grate that last bit of cheese on. And I put these in the air fryer for 14 minutes on 180. Yeah, 180. And it still left it with the mushrooms with a little bit of bite to them. And served it with rabbit food. Look, very nice. And some baby potatoes. And that was what we had for tea. Something different for a change. Right, so I was going to make ice cream the day before, and then I was rooting through my cupboard and nearly passed out when I realised I didn't have no caramel. I'm not making ice cream with no caramel. I mean, it's just not done, especially in this house. So I thought, well, if I'm going to go through all that effort of making some caramel, I may as well make a caramel tart as well. Not much more effort, you know what I mean? All I've got to do is crush up some biscuits. So that's what I did. So again, I'll put this recipe below. Not that it's a difficult one. So I crushed them up, added the butter. Much like you do a cheesecake base. Make sure it's well incorporated and stirred up. So this was the next morning, guys. The legs are dead enough. Once I got done yesterday, they're dead enough. They didn't want to work no more, so all you out there, and I know there's quite a few on my channel that have issues with standing and physical issues and stuff. You know, once your body says no, that's it. You're not doing any more. So I just pressed it in. This pan is amazing. I bought 2 new pie tins. And yeah, that one is so amazing. Even with the caramel, it just slid out. So I'm making a double batch of caramel. That's why there's going to be a lot in here. So, and it did burn me. Come on, I want that chorus of "aww." Be very, very careful when making caramel. On the cooker, and you've got to constantly stand there and stir it. It doesn't take long. If I can do it, then it doesn't take long. But yeah, once it gets to a good old heat, it'll start popping and bubbling. And if it gets on your skin, it's going to hurt you. And it got me poor little finger. There's no mark on it, mind. That's what comes with having a good fat layer of protection, you see. I'm like a seal. It didn't get through. The in-laws come over this day, so they help to eat some of this. Got to share with the in-laws, you know what it's like. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning, guys, and there's like people outside strumming. Oh. So sorry if it picks up on the microphone, I can't do a lot about that. Like I say, with this, once it comes up to a certain temperature, it's going to take any opportunity it can to catch, especially around the bottom side, the bottom of the pan at the sides. So you've got to watch it. And keep on stirring. You're going to think, oh, it's never going to turn into caramel. It does. If you think it's bubbling a bit much and you're a bit worried, then just move it to the hob next to you. And just keep stirring. And then take it back to the heat. That's not a lumpy thingy, that's just the butter melting. Oops. Them silicone things on the mandals, oh, they drive me batty. They move. And sometimes I don't notice and I put my fingers on the metal. Oh, it hurts. So this is literally a case of turn the heat up. When it gets to the point where it starts to simmer, I turn it down to a medium heat. And always go round that pan. The middle, the sides. And make sure it don't cap. And don't wander off. So it took about 7 minutes. You see, it looks quite loose there. But trust me, once it sets, it's not going to be loose. So I've got the caramel for my pie. And then a bit for my mouth. Look at that, look how it's set. And it's not been in the fridge yet. So it's cooled down and I'm just putting the cream on. And I've also got that jug of caramel for my ice cream. 2 birds, 1 stone and all that. So once you put your cream on, just pop it into the fridge. And it's good for about 3 days. Not that it lasts 3 days, but it's good for about 3 days. So on Friday I'm doing a review of the multi-cooker that Steve bought me. I had to replace my slow cooker because the handle was coming off it, so it wasn't safe. And it took forever to heat up anyway. And I'm loving my new multi-cooker, so I am doing a bit of a review on that. Also, Kasuri have asked me to collaborate again with them. I have collaborated twice before on 2 with their air fryers. And there's the caramel for the ice cream, look. Nice and thick. So this is the ice cream. So next week will be the collab with their new air fryer, the Turbo. So I can't wait to get that out of the box and try that. It came last night. I believe it's 6 litre. So I just aerate the condensed milk. Like I say, this is for the ice cream. And I had 2 pots, sorry about that. I had 2 pots of cream, double cream. And you want to whip that till it's thickened up. And I'll just show you how I quickly make my... This took no longer than 10 minutes, this entire thing. And it nearly filled that tub full of ice cream. I took some caramel out and I'm making the ice cream base, a caramel flavour. Love all things caramel. Look how thick that caramel is. Ooh. So now, while that's whipping up and getting thicker, I've took some caramel and I'm going around the outside of the pot. When it's getting eaten, this is mine by the way, and I just eat it out the pot when I want some. So don't worry about me licking my fingers and that because nobody else eats this. You always get some caramel at some point while you're eating, and I eat from the outside. I go around the outside and then I level it off by eating the middle bit, and then I go around the outside again. Has anybody else got any weird ways that they eat ice cream, or is it just me? So I'm just putting some at the bottom as well. This is just the way I like to do it. I like to make sure that there's some everywhere in it when I can get it off my hand. I'm not going. These are dime nuggets. I'm not going to use the whisk itself to electronically whip them through because it'll just smash them. So I'm just using that just to move them through myself. I don't want them all crushed up. And I've put some around and stuck it to the caramel. So again, as you're eating it, you get a bit in each bite. And I'm just going to do it in layers. You can see them dime pieces are going in with each ladleful. So I'll sprinkle some on this layer, and then I'll go to the caramel as well that's left, and I'll just put a few blobs in there. This is not all going to go in one sitting, guys. So carry on again. Next layer. And just keep repeating it until you've used all your ice cream base up. And there's nothing easier. You can change it and put in whatever chocolate pieces you want. Don't add the caramel if you don't want. Make it peanut butter. I like that flavour as well. So again, I'm just going to repeat what I just did. And then I'm going to put the rest of that in now. And I'll set this for 24 hours in the freezer. It will probably set in about 8 to 12. But I just leave it 24 hours. Again, I'll put this recipe in the more section. This makes a great big tub of it, look. I would say that's about 2 pints there. Rest of the dime nuggets and any caramel that's left as well. Make sure you've got a container that you've got enough room at the top. Leave a little bit of a gap. And that has got a nice secure lid. Into the freezer it goes. So if you made it all the way through this, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to comment down below, have a chat with me, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. A big portion of my viewers are not subscribed. Why? Come on, guys, just hit the subscribe button. It don't cost anything. And turn your notifications on so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you on Friday. Bye.